Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Archway Sports Talk with Al and Dan, guys. We are back, and the smell of baseball is in the air. I am pumped. It's going to be a long season, but hopefully not too long. We've got some exciting young talent and veterans coming back. Opening day festivities happening all around baseball stadiums, but nothing better than Busch Stadium with the Budweiser Clydesdales circling the outfield track and the fans going crazy. Nothing better than the Clydesdales. Along with the Cardinal Hall of Famers riding around in Cardinal red Ford trucks, waving to the fans. It just gives me goosebumps thinking about it, guys. Game time is Thursday, 3/26/26, 3:15. And the opening day starter is Matthew Liberatore, and he definitely deserves it. Had a strong spring. We'll be pitching against right-hander Drew Rasmussen of the Tampa Bay Rays. This will be a rebuilding year for the Cardinals, guys. Cardinals organization, and there will be growing pains. But we have a lot of young talent, along with some veterans that will bring some exciting baseball back to St. Louis. Hopefully, one day we can say what the great Jack Buck once said. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. Let's play ball. Okay, here's what's bugging Al. The electronic strike zone being implemented this season, I am so sorry. Along with the challenge system. It was approved in 2025 by the Joint Committee, starting with the 2026 season, guys. What happened to the human factor? I know the main objective is to get the call right. But what is next? AI umpires? They are already taking jobs, especially in manufacturing. People make mistakes, guys. That's what humans do. The system is in use, so I'm going to tell you how it works. If a team challenges and is successful and the call is overturned, they retain their challenge. If unsuccessful, they lose it. Only the batter, pitcher, or the catcher can initiate a challenge by tapping their cap or helmet immediately after a pitch. Manager cannot challenge ball or strike calls. The system uses a 12 Hawkeye camera to track the ball. If challenged, an automated graphic of the pitch will be shown on a video board, guys. So we'll see where the pitch wound up and can see for ourselves. Finally, the system is considered middle ground between human error and fully automated calls, while maintaining the art of the catcher framing and missed calls. Remember, this is my opinion, and maybe this will work. Yes, I am old school. Hopefully, this will better the game. Only time will tell, guys. In closing, I would like to say the system was probably put in play because of poor umpiring for many years by Angel Hernandez and Laz Diaz. Yes, I said it. But remember, they are only human, made of flesh and blood. There's a song in there somewhere. I had to say it, Dan. I'm so sorry I went there. P.S. Trying to put an umpire in the booth. Let's try putting an umpire in the booth, guys, and view the game. If there's an overturned call needed, it's cheaper than spending millions of dollars on electronic video equipment. I'm just saying.
Hey, Al, I'd like to piggyback on that. I, too, like the idea of having a 5-man umpiring crew from that standpoint that when you need a call to be reviewed, you don't have to call up New York and have them look at it. You've got somebody in a booth watching the game, pitch by pitch. They can make a call. They can even signal to the home plate umpire and said, hey, this needs to be looked at. And they can take care of it right then, right there. Also, maybe some remember this, but probably more than a few years, might be almost 20 years now, there was an umpire who unfortunately passed away. He had a heart attack or heat stroke or something to that nature. I forget exactly. It was unfortunate. But if there was a fifth umpire, instead of the other three umpires having to, play shorthanded or umpire shorthanded, adding to their level of success or non-success, if you had that fifth umpire, he can come down and he could fill that spot that where the umpire had to leave, and you still would have a four-man umpiring crew. I just think it makes a lot of sense to do that. Plus, I don't know if you saw this, Al. There was a female umpire. I don't know if she's major league or minor league, but there was a pitch thrown right down the center of the plate, middle of the strike zone. Right. She called it a ball. Okay. Nobody swung at the pitch, so it was clearly right there for her to see. She missed it. She made a bad call. They reviewed it. It showed that she was wrong in her call. But I think it adds to this. If you do something that egregious, or you have a series of bad calls like that, send them down to the minor leagues at single A. Make them work their way back up.
Well, these umpires are graded on their, performance after each game.
But I don't. Yeah, but I don't see any disciplinary actions done for bad calls.
Right. I gotcha.
All right, guys. So next we're going to do Cardinals Corner. Now, mind you,
not much going on.
This week's Cardinals Corner and Blues News are they are definitely shorter than what you may be used to, because there just really isn't much going on right now. The Cardinals finished their spring training season today on Sunday, and they're not expected to make any other moves until a few days before the season starts. Day. So, okay. Well, with that said, Lars Nootbaar was placed on the DL. That's not a surprise. I said that last week, and I think I said it since the beginning of spring training.
Right.
What hasn't been mentioned is if that 60-man or 60-day DL. If it's 60-day, that means it opens up his place on the 40-man roster for someone else. So that's all that really means. I would imagine that he probably, if he goes on 60-day DL, he won't be available until June 1st at the earliest.
I got you.
And then that would only give him about 6 weeks. And 6 to 8 weeks, to get his game together before he gets traded.
Wow. Okay.
Also on Saturday, which was yesterday for us, the Cardinals sent pitcher Gordon Graceffo to AAA Memphis. Again, this is not a surprise. Graceffo is a relief pitcher who thinks he's still a starting pitcher, but his pitches seem to flatten out and he gets smoked.
Yep. He's got good stuff,
but he
hasn't really put all together yet.
He throws it down the middle of the plate.
Yes, he does. And what do you got next? You got Blues
Then
News?
We got Blues News.
Blues News.
Al, again, not a whole lot going on.
No.
So I'm just going to go over some things that has happened this since the last time we recorded. Wednesday, the 18th, the Blues lost in a shootout 2-1 to the Calgary Flames,
which they had dominated in the last 5 to 10 games.
Yeah.
Everything, good things come to an end.
Dylan Holloway was the only one to score a goal, so it's nice to see him find the back of the net.
Yeah, neighbors hit the post on one of those shots.
So there's good news and bad news on that front.
Yeah.
Good news is I guess if you want to take it this way, the Blues won. The bad news is
they gained a point, Dan.
Or they didn't win. The good news is they lost. The bad news is they still gained a point because of it going into a shootout. They gained that extra point, and that's not what we need for them to do. Right now, they hold on to the number 5 or 6 selection, and that's all prior to them doing the lottery draft selection where everybody's name goes into a bin and they pull it out.
Sure.
So much like what they do for Major League Baseball. Also, on Saturday, that's yesterday for those of you who are playing along, the Blues did defeat the worst team in the NHL, and that's the Vancouver Canucks, 3-1, on goals by Pavel Buchnevich. My wife was so happy.
I think she likes the name. Dan.
She can't pronounce the name, but she still likes him.
He had 2 goals, and he had Kyrou and Suter.
Kyrou and Suter each providing goals. So that's about it on
2 more.
that.
Well, and I'm going to stay positive, guys. I know Dan doesn't, but he wants a draft pick. I don't blame him. They are in a rebuilding mode too, just like the Cardinals. But just throwing it out there, 6 points out of the last playoff spot with about 14 games left, I believe. So we'll see what happens down the stretch. But I know what Dan's pulling for. I can see his point. So
next we got our Al and I's favorite segment, and it's St. Louis
down on the farm.
Today,
I don't know why, but we love doing that. I don't know.
We're highlighting the St. Louis Blues, Löw Herenstam. Yes, I did say that right, even though it's spelt love. We love us some Löw. He's 19 years old, 6'1", and 196 pounds. He was drafted by the St. Louis Blues in 2022 in the 6th round with the 19th pick. He played in a couple of different leagues this year, all in the Swedish Elite Hockey League. One of them was Södertälje SK, where he had 32 games with 13 wins and a 1.81 goals against average.
Wow.
And a 920 save percentage.
Not bad.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
He also played in the under 20 version of this team, where he got into 2 games and he won both of them, posting a 1.92 goals against average and a 915 save percentage. So it's really consistent play from Löw. Also, Löw is very athletic, highly competitive goaltender who has emerged as one of Sweden's most intriguing 2007 born netminders. He combines quick feet, explosive post-to-post movement, and confident body language with strong foundational positioning and mental resilience. Herenstam checks many boxes that you want in a young goalie. He wins games, plays big in the net, and brings an energetic presence between the pipes.
Wow.
Now, mind you, he's the first of two that the Blues have now from Sweden.
Wow.
Remember, they got that guy in the trade from Detroit also.
He's only 19 years old, so.
Yep. So Al's going to take us into the Cardinals prospect. Go ahead, Al.
Thanks, Dan. Cardinal prospect, we've got a gentleman named Jack Gurovich. Plays first base, bats left, throws right. He's 23 years old. 6 foot tall, 215 pounds. Not really, in my opinion, could be a little taller for a first baseman.
Nah, that's not first base size.
No, I think he should be like 6'3", 6'4", but hey, if his bat plays, we'll see. He's only reached level A ball so far. Slash line is 83 at bats, guys, 181 average, 303 on base percentage with a 253 slug. 22 games, 10 runs, 15 hits, 4 RBIs, 13 base on balls. Listen to this, 33 Ks.
That doesn't sound like the bat's playing much.
No, a little high there, Dan. He was acquired in the 2025 draft by the Cardinals, 3rd round, 89th pick overall. A little background on the gentleman. Gurovich has a straight-on stance with a left side, featuring a crouch and hands held high. Dan talked about that earlier. What's your opinion on that crouch and the hand side, Dan?
I don't like when a hitter is got to pronounce crouch. He's got to uncoil too much.
He's got to come out of it.
He's not
take too much time.
It's taking too much time to get to the pitch. Also, with the hands up high, if you got your hands up here, the first thing you have to do before you take a swing is you have to bring your hands down. Now, this is a matter of a split second, right?
Sure.
But when guys are throwing
100 miles
upper
an hour,
90s,
100 miles an hour.
it's
you don't have much time to make
you don't have
decision.
time to waste.
No, I agree with that. He relies on his hands to drive the contact, basically.
Apparently not.
Apparently not, though. With a big load in his lower half, but that was enough to make lots of loud impact during final spring training on campus. Clean mechanics made him look like a potential above-average hitter coming out of school with at least average pop, guys.
Well, I'll tell you, the person that wrote that bio, they should be fired.
That's a loaded bio. We'll leave it at that.
It's a load of something.
Next, we have our special feature, Dan.
Yeah.
We got the St. Louis Cardinals review. What you got for me, Dan?
Well, you know how, guys, we previewed every team in the National League Central and ran down all their players. So now it's time for us to do this for your St. Louis Cardinals. And our first one is DH Ivan Herrera. And yes, I did not make a mistake. He is a DH. He is not a catcher.
Nope.
And should not be put behind the plate at all. It takes too much of a toll on his elbow, his throwing elbow, and apparently his knees, because this isn't the first time he has had inflammation in the knees. I'd much rather leave him at DH where he can do what he does best, and that's hit. So he had a very short spring training because of, that's right, knee inflammation now. So he hit 250. He had a 250 on base percentage and a 500 slug. He was hurt most of spring training and didn't come back until just a couple of games ago.
Well, apparently his injuries haven't hurt his swing. The guy can hit if he can just stay healthy, guys.
But that's the problem.
Right. Next, we're going to move on to catchers. I got Pedro Pajes and Pozo. Pozo's back. And apparently he's lost about 45 pounds. And he's
didn't help him move behind the plate when I watched the game.
Yeah, Dan watched him a game or two, and he said he didn't move too well. But like I said, he's young, and he's a backup. So we are rebuilding. Remember that word. 140 for Pajas, 143 average, 200 OPS, 179 slug. Good with the staff. Pitchers love this guy. At the plate, he's not great. 200. I mean, you got to hit better than that. But if he can help pitching staff and be average defense.
If I were the Cardinals, I would turn the Pajes.
Wow, I caught that. That's pretty good. For Pozo, he had a 256 average, 310 OBP, 385 slug. Not good behind the plate either. But here we go.
Herrera, Pajes, and Pozo, none of them are your future. And your future catchers, and really one of the future catchers should be right here, right now, and that's Jimmy Crooks.
Jimmy Crooks.
Because he's going to do is take away opportunities from Bernal.
Right.
But if you would have put Crooks here and let him play, he gives you as good a defense, maybe slightly less pitch calling, but you got Molina here to work with him on that. And he's a better hitter. And, oh, by the way, you're going to see 3 times as many right-handed pitchers as you are left-handed pitchers, and he's a left-handed bat. I'm just saying.
There you go. Oh, then you got first base.
First base, we got Alec Burleson.
Oh.
This spring, he hit .323 with a .488 on base and a .419. Only real middle of the lineup that we can count on right now. But you've got so many questions, and we're going to get into all the other questions here, guys. But my question is are you better having Burleson at first base right now at the beginning of the season, or maybe in right field where you can send Walker down, let him work on his hitting, put Burleson in left field until one of 3 things happens. 1, Nootbaar is healthy enough to resume play, and then he can slide in there. And in that case, Burleson goes back to first base. Herrera goes from first to DH. So that gets everybody back to where they need to be. Or 2, Jordan Walker figures things out, and he comes up, and he's back in right field, and Burleson comes back to first base. Herrera back to DH. Or 3, and you could have Joshua Baez just tearing up minor league pitching, and they decide to bring him up come maybe June 1st, and he just never goes back. And Burleson goes back to first, Herrera back to DH. This is what the Cardinals are doing and what I'm thinking they should be doing. So that's first. So, Al, you got second base. This is the fun one.
Oh, this is the fun one we've been talking about. Dan and I talked about earlier before the show. We got Wetterholt at second base, along with Urias, or Urias, I think that's how you pronounce it. I think Wetterholt should be held back.
Is that Urias Holt?
I don't know. That's
Urias.
Urias Heat?
Yeah.
Urias Heat, maybe?
Urias Heat.
Wow, we're stretching. We're stretching on that.
Maybe that's what we'll call it.
Wetterholt, we think, should be held back due to the strike coming up at the end of the year, guys. I think it's going to hurt his growth because he's not going to be able to practice or do anything if he's on the 40-man roster. They're going to bring him up anyway for the movement, the rebuilding, and he's a hell of a ball player. I just hope it doesn't happen to him like it happened to Jordan Walker, brought up too early. But we'll see what happens.
His spring numbers were not all that great.
No.
At least average-wise. Everything else was pretty decent. But he only hit .226.
No.
So, I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. Next, we got shortstop Mason Wynn. Mason did not hit well this spring. I don't know if his knee is still bothering him. I haven't heard anything. I don't know. But he only hit .121. He had a .256 on-base percentage and a .121 slug. So there was no pop in his bat in spring. But, again, Jupiter is a hard place to hit home runs because the wind just blows so hard off the ocean and it holds the balls in. He's a Gold Glove shortstop. Bat suffered last year, like I said, because of a knee injury that he was battling through and decided to play through. But he had 3 errors all of last season.
Mm-hmm.
That glove is going to play,
Sure.
and they'll play that glove every game, whether or not the bat is matching it,
Right.
or even coming anywhere near it.
Right. And he worked on that swing, but I think he's still going to struggle a little bit, and he's trying to make some changes and find himself. But hell, you can't beat that shortstop, that glove. Let's face it.
You also have Jose Fermin, who he could be the new Brendan Donovan, him and Sajaci,
Mm-hmm.
but he's going to have to show that he can hit a little bit better than 152 with a 220 on base and a 174 slug.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to get you much playing time right there. Next, Hal. Third base.
What do we have? Third base, Dan. And we got Gorman. And Gorman is actually, his average was actually 237. Not great, but a 341 on base percentage with a 553 slug. He had 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. Hopefully this spring will instill the confidence he needs to return him to his potential. The guy's is just a good ball player. He's solid. He struggles at the plate, though. He swings like Jordan Walker, only left-handed.
Well, they figured out what was wrong.
Right. They made some changes in the spring training.
Yeah, well,
changes
before spring training, yeah. Arenado hooked him up with this hitting guru that nobody has been able to identify, but they went over some things, and they found that his front leg was not coming down before he started his swing.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound like somebody else we know? Could you say Jordan Walker?
Jordan Walker?
So they figured out some things, and it helps with the pitch recognition. Again, somebody else we know.
We don't like to pick on Jordan Walker. I mean, we really like the guy.
We both really like him.
23 years old. I mean, I just think there's so many people getting into his head. You know, Dan said he read something where he has these people in his head. He can't get them out of his head. And I think he's just struggling with
too many people giving him advice.
And that's what he's struggling with. So
hopefully Gorman can get back to being that, around 30 home run hitter that he was a few years ago.
Yeah. He could bat 270. I'd be happy. 265.
I think a lot of pressure is being taken off of him now that Arenado is traded and he's going to be the third baseman. I think there's a lot of pressure that's been taken off. Let's just let the kid play. He's 25 years old. He won't even be 26 until May.
Right.
So let's just let him play. So moving on, guys, we got left field. Nelson Velazquez.
This guy's been a little, apparently he's been under the radar, but he's been quite a good pickup. What you got for him, Dan?
He's been a shocker, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think that anybody thought we were going to get this quality of play at the plate from him. When the Cardinals announced that they signed him, I thought, he'll probably start the season in AAA.
Right.
But he's hit 333 this spring with a 435 on base percentage, and get this, a 667 slug.
Too shabby.
He has 4 home runs and 9 RBIs, leading the team in both categories this spring. Now, I know spring training.
Right.
Spring trainings, spring training is like kissing your sister. Yeah, it's a kiss, but it don't mean a whole hell of a lot. So try not to read too much into all that. He's showing some pop from the right side. And with Lars Nootbaar being out and on the 60, presumably.
Sure.
Left field's going to be his for a little while.
Yeah. And then we're going to move on to center field, which is a big question mark, guys. We got 2 guys that can run faster than the Flash.
I don't think it's a question mark.
Well, you got Victor Scott II, and Nathan Church being for a spot playing center field. I think the nod's going to go to Victor Scott, but he's got to put the ball in play, guys. If he gets on base, he's already at second and third. He's got to just learn to quit trying to hit home runs and, the ball, get that past the pitcher, anything he can to get on base.
Just
If he
get
can
on.
learn that, and bat, 250, 260.
But 161 is not going to cut it.
No, and Church is the same way. Plenty of speed, great defense. Both guys are probably all-star glove caliber defense.
Oh, yeah.
I just get on base, guys.
I think Church has a stronger arm.
Yeah. I think he does.
And apparently he has a better bat. Because he hit 294
wow,
with a 429 on base and a 441 slug. Again, I'd send Victor Scott down to AAA, let him work on things. Both him and Walker skipped AAA. They went from AA up to the majors.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that has hindered their progression.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Alec Burleson was drafted 2 rounds after Jordan Walker.
Mm-hmm.
He made it to all 3 levels. Okay? And now look at Burleson. He's a hitter that you depend on and, let's face it, you count on to produce for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say the same about the 13th overall pick in Jordan Walker.
Right.
So that covers essentially center
field,
and now right field. I think we talked enough about Jordan Walker.
And,
again, someone else to keep an eye on is Joshua Baez. If he continues to tear up AAA hitting the way he tore up the other levels last year and this spring, you could see him most definitely before the trade deadline. I think could be sooner.
He definitely got a good bat. Then we're gonna move on to pitching, Dan, and we've got Matthew Liberatore, and apparently he got the starting nod as the opening day starter. He deserved it after pitching what he did spring training, guys. He had 17.2 innings pitched, with a 4.5 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, and he, like I said, he will be the number 1 starter, and he deserved it. Way to go, Libby. Just hope he can get his innings up a little bit, Dan. At least get the 6 innings.
Yeah, they backed him off on his last start because they didn't want him overdoing it before the start of the season. But he threw 5 innings. He wasn't even scheduled to go 5 innings. He was only scheduled to go maybe 4. But his pitch count per inning was 11 pitches.
Average. That's not too bad. That's insane.
Yeah, he was like 55 pitches, 54, 55 pitches for the game. He could have gone, if he at that rate, at 11, who knows, he might have gone 8 innings,
right?
7, 8 innings. And that's ideally what you want to look out of your starting pitcher, 6 to 8 innings.
Then you got Dustin May, apparently second starter. And this guy's been pitching lights out, Dan. He is paying for a paycheck. Let's face it, guys. We don't know if he's going to be here by the trade deadline. What's going to happen with this guy? But he pitched 11.2 innings, 1.5 ERA, and 0.94 WHIP. He's looking stronger. Will be the Cardinals' number 2 starter, maybe number 3 starter. Not sure at this point. But he's looking strong. Look like he's got his stuff back from injury. And
yeah, he's throwing upper 90s.
Yeah.
And now, like you said, one of 3 things is going to happen with Dustin May. The Cardinals are going to be horrible, and he's going to pitch mediocre. And in that case, they may just pick up his option for next year so that they can keep some of their younger pitchers, down there at AAA. Or the Cardinals could stink and be out of it by the trade deadline, but Dustin May is pitching lights out. And in that case, they'll trade him and get a haul for him at that point. Because somebody will want, $12.5 million plus an option year. Yep. They'll grab that up in a heartbeat. Or the Cardinals could actually be in contention for the division,
which we don't think is very strong.
No, the division is not strong.
Well, it's our opinion.
And I don't think it's out of the question that the Cardinals. I'm not saying they will, but I'm saying they could make it interesting.
Yeah.
If a lot of things fall in place, they may say, no, we'll hold on to him.
Right. Pay him a little extra money. We gave him a shot. Maybe he'll stay.
Yeah.
But money talks. Let's bottom line. Money talks, guys.
Right now, he's going to be setting himself up for a huge payday.
Yep.
Because he's only 27, 28.
Yep.
So at age after his 28-year birthday, he'll still have maybe 6 more seasons that he could get paid big time on.
Sure. We're going to move on to the next guy. We got Michael McGreevy. Young kid. Nothing bothers this guy. If you watch him pitch, nothing bothers him.
He's got a maturity level that's
He
beyond his years.
He deserves to be here. He pitched 13 innings, 2.7 ERA, 1.13 WHIP. Will be the Cardinals' number 3 starter. Like I said, that could change. Then you got Kyle Leahy, and then Dan's favorite, Andre Palante, should be traded Palante. Leahy, they're moving in him from his key role as 7th, 8th, 9th, inning pitcher to a starter. What are your thoughts on him being a starter, Dan?
I don't like it. I think he's best suited for long relief. You could take him as a long reliever and then get a lefty long reliever also who they have in a guy by the name of Packy Naughton, who's actually pitched well this spring and is healthy finally. And if you piggyback those 2 guys, that's your 6th starter this summer.
Right.
The piggyback.
The piggyback and your 6-man.
Otherwise, they can be long relievers in case one of these guys blows up. Sure. But I don't. Palante, I think he's best suited for somebody else's team.
I think so. Or maybe in a relief position.
On someone else's team.
Speaking of relief, we're going to move on to our relievers. And actually, I like these guys we've got in the bullpen, Dan.
I actually like this bullpen.
Riley O'Brien is going to be their strong point. So we got Svensson, Ramiro, Brule, Stanek, and Roycroft. We're going to start off with O'Brien. Like I said, we're not going to spend a lot of time on these guys. But both him and Svensson proved strong last year, Dan. And
I think they're
came
both,
out of nowhere.
I think they're both more than capable closers. And I like that they have 2 guys like this. Where they don't have to rely on just one guy closing out games.
You like that option of switching those
I like
around.
the back and forth.
Right. Not always throwing the same guys out there all the time. And they get tired, sore arms.
I also like this with Romero and Brule. They're 2 lefties. I like the fact that you've got 2 lefty setup guys. Now, with Stanek and Roycroft, I have some questions. Both have shown
good stuff,
but inconsistency.
Right.
So
throwing strikes hurt these guys. Trying to throw strikes really hurt them.
Trying to throw 100 miles an hour is what hurts them, because what happens with the harder you throw the ball, the straighter it comes out. It's when you don't throw the ball very hard that movement is allowed to take place. We're going to see. I
watched Roycroft pitch a lot last year, and he wasn't consistent, but when he was on, he was lights out too. That's just what anybody, Dan. We'll see I think our bullpen's going to be a strong point, though.
I think so.
And then we got, who's this guy? We got George Soriano, Dan?
Yeah.
He came out of nowhere. Apparently pitched for Washington. And we got him in a trade for Andre Granillo, which kind of baffled me and Dan, but we'll see.
We were both kind of surprised by it, especially on the surface when we read about it, where Soriano showed a lot of inconsistency and Granillo did not.
No.
So we were just kind of
But he pitched 7 innings, didn't give up any runs, with an 0.86 whip.
I can't argue the numbers this spring.
Can't argue the numbers at all.
Again, small sample size.
Right.
Don't get excited about what you see in April.
And don't know much about this next guy. This is Matt Bouchard. He pitched 6.2 innings, 4.05 ERA, with a 150 whip, and he was a right-handed setup guy. I'm not sure a whole lot about this guy.
They got him as a Rule 5 draft pick.
Okay.
From Miami. They have to keep him on the roster
Or give him back
all season, or they have to offer him back to Miami.
Wow. Okay.
Now, Miami can refuse and say, well, no, if you don't want him, why do we want him? You know?
Right.
He apparently has bounced around a little bit. So
we'll see.
Yeah.
Like I said, apparently he has to stay up in the MLB, so we'll see how
I would say at first, until the Cardinals gain some trust and confidence in him, you're going to see him in low leverage to no leverage situations where the game is not,
or it's out of reach, or they're down by
it's
10 runs
question.
or so. Yeah, it's not a question. And then we're going to move on, Dan. We've got a couple guys here that we're going to talk a little bit about, not much. We think Jimmy Crooks should be up here catching and be a starter.
Absolutely, absolutely. Your catching position is young for the most part. The good catchers are still down a little bit, but Crooks displays a good glove, good arm, and a decent bat. All better. The overall package with Crooks is better than Herrera, Pages, and Pozo.
And then next we're going to go with Thomas Ajayci, who could play any infield position. And toward the end of the year last year, he showed he could hit like he did in the minors. And there's talk about him not making the club, Dan.
I think he will.
I think he will. It's just talk, but they say he may be the odd man out. But he's been working in the outfield also.
I think if the Cardinals are smart and they don't bring Weatherholt up and put him on the 40-man roster and they keep him down, I think Thomas Ajayci is your second baseman.
Which I don't really have that much of a problem with, actually.
I think he's your starting second baseman, but he may spell Gorman. And if that's the case, then you'll see Fermin over at second base,
right.
Fermin over at shortstop.
Right.
No, I think Ajayci has the better arm than Fermin. So that's my thought on that.
And then we're going to move on to some pitchers that we're going to talk a little bit about. Dan's going to talk a little bit about this Quinn Matthews, Dan.
He's not on the 40-man roster.
He's not. He was sent AAA.
And even though he had a fairly decent spring, there's some things that he needs to work on, like his ERA down. He has to cut down on the walks. But otherwise, he's not on the 40-man roster. So I know everybody's excited about the youth, but it's coming. Be patient.
And then we got next guy we picked up in trade, I believe, from Boston.
Yeah.
Richard Fitz. He might have been a throw-in, I'm not sure, but he had some good outings.
I don't think he was a throw, and I think a lot of people look at it that way. But I think the Cardinals really, I think everybody that they got in both trades with Boston, I think they were players that they targeted, they wanted. The other was Brandon Clark. Now, Brandon Clark's going to be a few years down the road.
Sure.
And quite possibly Fitz and Hunter Dobbins, who we're going to mention next, they may not be on the team at that point because you still got Liam Doyle, Quinn Matthews, and some other guys. This roster is going to constantly be turning over every year. Not at every position, but there's going to be a huge turnover every year, I think.
Well, Fitz started out strong, then he wound up with a 7.71 ERA.
Yeah, I know he had one really bad outing.
So then you already talked about Hunter Dobbins. He had an ACL surgery rehab.
Mm-hmm.
Could be an option later in the year. Then Dan's favorite guy here, Packy Naughton again. Had a decent spring. I think he'll be called up later if any injuries happen.
Well, he has to be put on the 40-man roster.
Right.
But like you said,
he's actually healthy this year.
He's healthy. He hasn't been healthy for the last 3 years and almost gave up on baseball altogether. He got his real estate license.
Wow.
I heard. But if you guys remember the last time Packy Naughton pitched with the Cardinals, he did some relief work, but they also used him as a spot starter.
Yeah, I remember him.
So again, would Packy Naughton be a viable left-handed long reliever option? Part of that tag team six-man rotation. With Kyle Leahy. I think it'd be a good way to go. But
gotcha.
Nobody calls me.
Hey guys, that's our roundup for the Cardinals review this year. And real games start this week, guys. We're both excited. Hope you guys are excited too. Let's give this Cardinal team a chance. So we at Archway Sports Talk want to thank everyone for watching our podcast and hope everyone has a great week, guys. And stay safe. And let's enjoy opening week in baseball, especially opening day for the St. Louis Cardinals, which should be interesting and hopefully exciting season of baseball. Please send your comments and suggestions to our YouTube channel or email address at podcoutus@gmail.com. Dan, what you got?
Well, all I want to do is I want to say, now that the season is here, I just want to wish everybody happy summer, because it is the boys of summer, just like middle of February was the beginning of spring. Now we're going into the start of summer.
Well, there you go. Nice and sweet. And thanks again, guys, for watching Archway Sports Talk. See you soon.